Hello, my name is Ben Apiger and I'm a senior and marketing pathway student at North Forsyth High School. I'm here today with industry professionals from the ROTC pathway. This is another trade talk as part of our ongoing series of learning from business and industry in our community. We as middle and high school students have very important decisions to make around our high school career pathways as we begin thinking about life after graduation. We hope these trade talks will help our students and families have these discussions at home. Your counselors can also help you in identifying courses that will fit your career aspirations. Before we get started, I'd like to ask each panel member to introduce themselves by telling us your name, branch, and position there.
Yeah, I'm Ed Postel. I'm with the West Point Field Force. I'm representing West Point, which is a four-year college that prepares men and women to be officers in the Army.
Hi, I'm John Williams. I'm a technical sergeant. I'm a recruiter for the United States Air Force.
Hello, my name is Staff Sergeant Houck. I'm the Marine Corps recruiter here in Cumming. Most of my job deals with the enlisted side of the entering active duty in the Marine Corps, but I also deal with NRTC scholarships and the reserve side as well.
Again, we thank you for being with us today. So now we'll jump right into the questions recently submitted by our high school students. What motivated you to go into the field of ROTC?
Well, it's actually West Point. I was always interested in the military, and then as a young person, I got offered an opportunity to go to West Point, which is a four-year college, and I graduated as an officer. So it allowed me to spend 21 years in the Army, serving our country and dealing with some awesome people.
Yes, so joining the Air Force was a big thing to me, just getting out, actually seeing the world, being a bigger picture, and doing everything for us, like serving my country, making my family proud. So the ROTC definitely offers that introduction to the military lifestyle. So joining that would definitely give you an insight on what to expect from the military community.
So I actually began my interest in the ROTC pathway way back in middle school. I started taking the Army JROTC program. When it came time to graduate from high school, I ended up going to Temple University in Philadelphia. I was actually studying to be a math teacher. I later decided that was not for me, and upon further review, I ended up walking into a recruiting office, and the recruiter helped me figure out exactly what it was I was missing in life, and that was about 9 years ago now. And since then, I've started a family. I have a brand new baby boy, and all of that is thanks to just sitting down with that recruiter and finding out what exactly I needed. And everybody's pathway is different.
Very nice. What classes would you recommend students take in high school that would help them have a chance at going into ROTC?
Okay, for ROTC, the Army, I always say follow your passion. Take the courses that you're most excited about because you'll do the best at them. You take a look at where you want to go, like if you want to go to West Point, the catalog lists the required courses you have to take, but just follow your passion. We do have 36 majors at West Point, so you'll be able to find the field you're interested in that will transfer into being an officer in one of the related 17 branches of the Army.
Yes, with the Air Force, there's no specific classes you need to take. Of course, ROTC being a class that will eventually help you in the entering of active duty, it gives you benefits throughout. Just taking that initiative step to go out and find exactly what you're looking for. Just being able to take on adversity and as well as step outside your comfort zone, you'll definitely grow in ROTC in any class that you take.
So my answer to this, some of you might not like to hear, but the very first step is making sure that you do well academically, regardless of what pathway you go. So even if you are heart set right now on going enlisted in the military, you need to focus on school. And that's going to start off mainly with math and English, because when you take that entrance exam, we call it the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. That's going to heavily rely on your English and math skills. Now, when we get into some of the specific jobs, the only specific class that I'm going to recommend is going to be Algebra 2. As long as you've completed that, then there shouldn't be any issue qualifying for the jobs. Now, when you look towards any of our scholarship opportunities, the harder you push, the easier life becomes as you're competing for some of those select spots. So if you want to push yourself to go into any of those AP courses, by all means do so, but it's not necessarily required.
Describe your daily interactions with people. Do you work in groups or on your own daily? What type of jobs do you do, and how do they affect your job?
Okay, the Army is all about people. You know, the interaction is with people. You go to West Point, you have your classmates that help you through the class, the physical activities, and the leadership activities. In the Army, it's all about teams. One of the things I always reflect back on is after our beast barracks, our basic training, us old grads get to march back with the new cadets. And I routinely ask them, what is the most exciting thing you got out of this training? And they said the relationship with the people. And so everything in the Army is based around people. I've talked to 2 of my classmates from 50 years ago this week. So it's people.
Yeah, so working with people, like I said, is a team thing. Like, no matter where you go, everything requires a team. Nothing out there is done on your own. If you try to do anything on your own, you'll find out very quickly that working as a team is going to get you very far in this career. Starting from basic training, you're working as a team and you're learning how to live together, how to base yourself around that military community and Air Force community. So with all that, teamwork is going to be your biggest part of this mission.
So as you've just heard, teamwork is going to be integral in every aspect of military life. In my personal life, I started out in the Marine Corps working in a lab. I worked on equipment and I largely worked by myself. But once I left that lab, we still did everything together as a team, from physical training to large ceremonies to celebrating the Marine Corps' birthday. Then I eventually changed my job and I taught other Marines how to shoot. And now I'm basically a guidance counselor where I interact with anywhere between 10 to 100 Marines every day. So regardless of what you do in the military, you will always go back to that team-based mentality.
What skills do students need to do your job? What do they need to be good at? And what sort of education beyond high school do they need?
Okay, the Army, just like all the services, we evaluate people on their academic abilities, their leadership abilities, and their athletic abilities. To get into West Point, it's 60% academics, 30% leadership, and 10% physical activities. So that's what you need, is a well-rounded person to do all the different jobs you have. You know, and looking back at my career, they played into each one of the different opportunities I had, whether in the artillery or in the engineers.
With the Air Force, your skills are going to be, of course, your initial qualifications. Once you have your qualifications down packed, the only skill you need is the willing to learn, the willing to work together, and the willing to take that initiative step and just step out front and be that leader that we all expect you to be.
At the end of the day, everything that you need, we can teach you. The only thing that I cannot teach you is the motivation to go out and do what needs to be done. As long as you bring that to the table, you're going to be successful. As far as education goes, we give you the training. You use that to further your own education. You'll get college credit for it. You'll be able to go out and complete your own degree. But again, motivation is key.
I know this conversation was brief, but on behalf of myself and all CTA students in Forsyth County, we thank you for your service and we thank you for your valuable advice in helping middle school students choose the pathway that they'd like to pursue in high school.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.